Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno-monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for the 1st of the 3rd 2021. The time is 0500 GMT, Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, our lunchtime North American session. Right, let's have a look then. Friday the 26th, which was the last full trading day last week, we had a positive driver, opposed driver in the dollar at plus 219, so the dollar was strong. We had front and back door flows, mainly coming out of the euro at minus 178, out of the pound at minus 108, and the yen was the positive rock at plus 67, activity of plus or minus 286. Just to remind you, over the week, last week then, we had a negative driver, opposed driver in the yen at minus 286, yen was weak, dollar was strong at plus 242, and the euro and the pound were fairly neutral in the middle, plus 78, minus 34. Monday then, today, intraday, what's happened in the Asian session, we've got a positive unopposed driver in the pound, plus 124, no backdoor flows, and they're coming out pretty evenly of the dollar at minus 62, the yen minus 61, and the euro is pretty static at minus 1 as a negative rock. What's going to knock this about then? Right, well, we've got quite a busy week. It's non-farm payroll this Friday. Sunday, we've just last night we just had this China, PMIs came in soft, but just above 50, so they're just hanging in there. And if you look at the data cycle, China's data cycle is deteriorating. Right, today then we've got German PMI, CPIs, dollar manufacturing PMIs, and Lagarde's speech. Tuesday then we've got the Australian dollar rates decision. So Tuesday rates decision, German retail sales, Euro CPI, and CAD GDP. Wednesday we've got Australian GDP and US ADP, which is sort of variation on the theme of NFP. And Friday we've got the NFP. So and we've got an OPEC meeting this week, OPEC meetings this week, so watch out if you're trading oil. Now, the key things to notice then are with the AUD. Tomorrow we've got the rates decision, and Wednesday we've got the GDP. Now, if we look at what's happening in the flows in the wider market, then in terms of the asset classes, let's make some space. We've got a lot to talk about this morning, and right. So the euro basically complex is mixed. But it's weak against the AUD, CAD, NZD and pound. The yen is weak across the board. The pound is strong except against the AUD and NZD. The Swiss franc is weak across the board. The CAD is mixed, but it's weak against the pound, AUD and NZD. The AUD is strong across the board. The NZD is strong except AUD, and the dollar is weak except against the Swiss, which is even weaker. Right, so things to notice here then. basically we've got commodity currency strength, we've got dollar weakness, and the big standout is AUD strength. And bearing in mind that we've boxed in the AUD a little bit on the data cycle, then so the AUD is likely to be where the action is. And we've got equities that have sold off last week quite hard. So if you look at the actual US dollar index, look at the US dollar index, we've got it's about halfway. Gold has bounced a little bit, but not much. Oil is pretty much near the highs, but not quite there. Excuse me. Wall Street and the S&P are basically sort of have had a pasting, but they've come back a bit, and the tech is likewise, but it's lower. So that's more negative, if you like. So the tech's more negative than the Wall Street and the S&P. US 10-year. US 10-year is about half. It's come back about half, which is similar to the dollar index. And the Bund, which is basically the longer term German equivalent, is about a third. So, and these are prices, remember. So the yields of the price has recovered halfway. So that means yields have come off a bit. Like so basically you've got a lower price in the Bund, relatively speaking, which means that yields are relatively stronger in the German Bund than the US 10. Anyway, moving on then. Let's get rid of that then. So how do we sum it up then? Well, you've got the market is highly complex at the moment, but basically you've got the AUD with the data cycle looking as a focus. You've got equities which are quite likely to bounce. You've got the dollar which is coming off again. Basically, we're going to be looking at depending on how the market reacts, but the flows suggest you're going to get a bounce in the AUD complex, and if you get equity starting to rise, dollar coming off, so basically it's going to be down, euro and pound, and the pound's likely. That's like the likely scenario with the AUD going up. So hope that helps. See you again for tomorrow's daily briefing. Thank you very much.